Welcome, everyone, to the L7C Podcast College Football Edition. Today, we are previewing the national championship. There are only two teams left, and one of them is the Ohio State University going against the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. We got the OGs of the L7C here, Byron, Mitchell, and Cedric Ware. How are you guys doing today?
Oh, I'm doing great. Buckeyes are in the national championship, so let's go win this damn thing.
Yeah, I'm doing fine, man. Dreams may fucking come true. Who knows?
I'm trying to remember. No, we did. We did. This is our second ever time talking about Ohio State being in a national championship game because they were in that one.
Yeah, COVID.
Yeah, COVID when we were just starting out. And obviously we knew what happened there. Ohio State got torched. But here we are again, almost 4 years later. And we're here. Ohio State, they played against Texas in the Fiesta Bowl, and Notre Dame played against Penn State in the Peach Bowl. Notre Dame got the first game. They beat Penn State. We all saw it. It was a really good game. And we're just going to fast forward all the way to the end. When it was tied game, if you guys were Penn State, would you have been throwing the ball down the field, or would you try to just take it overtime?
I think I would have tried to go down the field in order to kick a field goal. I'm not even messing with overtime.
How about you, Cedric?
I probably would have tried to win it in regulation. Drew Aller was playing like dog shit. And I don't know. I just, with the run game, it all depends how much, I don't know. Because the run game was doing all right, but I don't know if I could trust this man to complete the passes in overtime. So I would have fucking tried to get the game in regulation.
Oh, I feel it. Because obviously that was brought up because, Penn State, they started throwing, and then Drew Aller threw that interception where he said he was trying to throw it to the ground, and Notre Dame made a great play on that, and then they were right back in field goal range, kicked the field goal, game's over.
Yep.
So that was tough. I mean, when Notre Dame winning, Marcus Freeman becomes the first African-American coach to coach in a championship game in FBS in this Division I's history, which is wild to think about how long the sport's been going, and he's the first in 2025.
Hey, respect to Marcus Freeman, man, for losing against Northern Illinois and going undefeated to go to the national championship.
Yeah, he did his job. I mean, shoot, you lost one, and you said, "Hey, this is it. Let's get back. Got to win it all."
Yeah. And then on the other side here, Ohio State. The game final score was 28-14, but it was a lot closer than the 2-touchdown lead. Obviously, we scored at the end of half with Mr. Henderson breaking that 75-yard one. And then they score right after. They stop us when we have the ball, then they score, and then it's tit for tat. And then Texas drives all the way down to the field near the end of the game. They damn near need to score because they're down a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
And then they were at the one. They got stuffed. Then they ran that jet sweep on second down and lost a couple yards. And then Sawyer, everyone's seen it 100 times by now. The strip, the run back, and the curtain call. What were your guys' thoughts seeing that Jack Sawyer sack, fumble recovery, and touchdown?
I was hyped because I was standing up watching during that goal line drive. I was like, all right, we just got to get one more stop. Got to stop on first down. Got to stop on second down. Got to stop on third down. I was like, all right, just one more stop, and we can win this game by a touchdown. And then Jack Sawyer basically called game against his former roommate at Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
I was screaming at the top of my lungs, "Let's fucking go! Let's fucking go! Let's fucking go!" I was ecstatic.
How about you, Cedric?
Oh my gosh, that play was just honestly, I don't know if you could write a script that's better
Yeah.
than that. Like that will go down in history. That will never be forgotten. Like the timing was just like perfect because they're within the red zone. Like they're trying to push it into the end zone to go up, and man, is honestly like I watch the thing every time I see it on Twitter, and every time I see it on Instagram.
Yeah.
I watch this shit live. I was hyped. I rewatch it every time because I'm like, I still cannot believe that. Like, man, just an amazing, amazing play.
Yeah, and that play obviously sealed it, and the Henderson thing put us like those were the two biggest plays of the game on our end. And I know we talked about it last time we were talking about this team, and uh, yes, again it was 14, but it was a lot closer than the score shows. The team came back down to earth after scoring 40 points 2 games in a row. I mean, the offense scored 21 points, and then Sawyer scored that last one. So, what do you guys think about Texas defense? Is good. What do you guys think about like the Buckeyes coming back down to earth after those 2 games?
I think it's good for when we go against Notre Dame because they have a good defense as well because it held Penn State to 24 points.
Yeah.
So it's kind of good to say, hey, all right, so if we get in a situation where we can't score, can our defense step up?
Yeah. What do you think, Cedric?
I mean, I think it was good. I mean, naturally, I would have loved to see Jeremiah Smith go ball out.
Man, they had 3 boys on him, which is what you got to do.
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it commands respect. Like, I mean, you leave him open, he starts blowing it up. I feel like Carnell Tate and Emeka Ibuka stepped up big. Carnell Tate has had some history of like a couple drop passes. I mean, he dropped a touchdown that was, a touchdown pass at the beginning, but then we run it in. I honestly, I give props to Juckins and Henderson just ripping off runs. And I mean, Henderson with that 75-yard touchdown reception off a screen. Like, I felt like our offense, if there was a time to show the versatility of our offense and the multiple weapons that we have to like really go out there, move the ball, and score the ball, this just proves that point further. Because I mean, they took away Jeremiah Smith, like they completely locked down Jeremiah Smith.
Yep. 1 catch for 3 yards.
But everywhere else, like, and props to Will Howard. I mean, he threw a pick, but he didn't let that like end it for him. Because he kept still going back, throwing the ball. We kept having a lot of rushing attempts. Like, but we were moving the ball. We were getting the first downs when we needed to, extending the plays when we needed to. And honestly, for me, it's like that's what we want to see when we're not like out here offense firing on true all cylinders where everyone's just falling out on people. That we can still fight and we can still win a game against a great team. And I mean, we've been talking about this. Our defense has been locked in since the Michigan game. Like even the Michigan game, our defense was really locked in with getting the pick. So like just seeing that that's still going too is just. I mean, I feel like it gives our offense a lot more confidence to go on the field and do what they need to do and push the ball when they need to push the ball and try to make those plays happen.
Man, and just it's crazy that these are the 2 teams that are left with an OSU and a Notre Dame because Notre Dame, just under the previous model, 14 playoff wouldn't be in because they lost to Northern Illinois, and Ohio State wouldn't be in because they had 2 losses against Oregon and they lost that game against Michigan.
Yep.
So it's kind of crazy how 2 teams that wouldn't even sniff the top 4 last year, if this was just last year, which I know that pissed a lot of Buckeye, like that's why we were mad about the Michigan thing. We felt like we lucked in there, but now they're going to be playing for a title. So it's the first year. How are we feeling about? Obviously, we have benefited. So knock on wood. We'll see how Monday goes. But how are we feeling about this 12 team so far in its first year?
I like the 12 team. I think after saying this year, I don't know if I want to be one of those seeds that got a bye because they started off slow in all 4 of their bowl games. So
they all lost.
Yeah, they all lost.
Mhm.
All started slow and all lost. So going 4 games, I think help like teams like Notre Dame and Ohio State get to the championship. So I don't know what they're going to do next year. Hopefully, the teams who do get that first round bye don't start slow and lose all 4 of your bowl games next year.
What do you think, Cedric?
I think it's definitely a work in progress. I definitely think that. I mean, in reality, this is what football is. I mean, we talked about this last podcast. Like, it really is just like you're one and done.
Yep.
It just depends on how you play that day against that opponent. And it doesn't necessarily mean it's a full, pure reflection of your abilities in your team. Sometimes you have bad games, and sometimes you're playing like shit. I mean, for Christ's sakes, Notre Dame lost to Northern Illinois,
Mm-hmm.
and here they are. Like, I feel like in a 12-team playoff, this is what I guess, for lack of better, this is where we start to talk about like let's give grace to some of these great teams and that are in competitive conferences that may take the loss, or that may, because of one loss, not make it to the conference championship, and is still a great team. I think that it's a work in progress. Like, it's not, nothing's ever going to be perfect. There's always going to be people bitching. Like we talked about that last podcast. There's always going to be people bitching about the what ifs and who should have got in, who shouldn't have got in, based off how the games are played out. But I mean, honestly, in my mind, it gives more opportunities, gives more football games.
Yeah. Oh.
I mean, we see now, like, even if you're the top 4 teams, it doesn't mean shit. Like, you still gotta come out and fucking play.
Yeah.
Like, you can lose.
The only top 4 team that was really had a chance to really win, crazy enough, was Arizona State.
Yeah.
They were the ones who should have won their game.
Yeah, forced double overtime.
There was a targeting call that wasn't called that could have changed everything in
absolutely.
field goal range, and then we would have been saying a different thing. But it's funny too, Cedric, how you said that like thing, because obviously NFL podcast will be coming soon, but you're watching the NFL playoffs, and besides the last game between Washington and Tampa Bay, all those games were blowouts.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I had to make the joke. I was like, man, with this blowout, Cincinnati should have been in the playoffs. Because they would have been blown out like this. I'm just saying, that argument sounds so stupid in any other sport.
It does.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, I don't know, like, everyone's being super hypercritical. I mean, when the first 4 teams left, shout out to us winning the first one. When the first playoff happened, people were critical of that one too.
Oh, we should have got, I mean, yeah, because we got in because of the 59-0. We went from 6th to 4th in one day, and people
That's
were
what I'm
pissed.
saying. Like, and eventually people started figuring out this. Like, people start getting an idea of what the committee's looking at and what they're considering. And I honestly think after some time, like, it's just going to take time. Like, it's 12 teams. The people who are bitching are like teams that I'm like, I hate to say y'all bitching, but y'all was one of the 4s. So it's not these other 8 teams' fault that you can't uphold and be a top 4 team in the country to get in there. That's your own damn fault. Fucking now you know what to do for next year. Maybe you don't want to be a number 1 through 4 ranked team to get a bye. Maybe you, like Byron said, maybe you want to be a team that plays immediately. Maybe get the home field advantage for your fans. Because that means a lot in college football.
Yeah,
get that home field advantage. Win,
those
getting that repetition.
They didn't play for obviously, because they had the longer break. They almost didn't play for a month, and just like you said, those teams coming in. Obviously, Ohio State was in a do or die game already against Tennessee. So was Texas against Clemson, Penn State against SMU, Indiana, Notre Dame, because all of them had to win to even get to one of those to play against one of the top 4 teams. So they're already in that mode.
Yeah. So, it's just one of the things, like, it'll take time to get used to. I like it as an idea concept because this is what it's for.
Mm-hmm.
To say, like, listen, like, you may have got beat on one day. Doesn't mean that you're not possibly the best, that you can't beat all these other teams.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's very, very interesting. Obviously, I think we've talked about it a long time ago. For people who don't know, I mean, we play Texas to start the year next year. So it's kind of funny. Yep. We played them, well, not to start the college football season, because we played them at the beginning of this year. So we play them twice in 2025. And then next time we play him, Arch Manning will be the quarterback, because Quinn Ewers declared for the draft as of today.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I was just like, I don't want to lose to the same team twice in the same calendar year.
No, you don't want to do that.
And the teams will be different. But we're here now, Ohio State, Notre Dame. Everyone is riding on the OSU coattails. They think this is going to be. There are some people who, again, it could happen, but it's disrespectful to say, thinking this is going to be a Georgia TCU blowout.
I don't think it's gonna be like that.
So I'm just like, I don't like that kind of energy. But what are your guys' thoughts on this matchup? Obviously, we just played them last year. Funny enough, the quarterback who drove us all the way down the field to win that game is not on the team anymore. So we've had close games against Notre Dame these past couple of years with the home and home. What are you guys' thoughts on this matchup? What are you guys going to be looking for? Who do you want to see step up? It's do or die for the seniors, obviously. This is their last game regardless.
We're 6-2 against Notre Dame and the home and home. I don't think it's going to be a blowout because, again, Notre Dame's defense is good. So I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I do think we can win. I think our defense is better than Notre Dame's defense. I think our offense is better than Notre Dame's offense. Riley Leonard is not that great of a quarterback.
No.
So we'll see if he can move the ball against Ohio State's defense. He didn't really move the ball well against Penn State's defense. I think he ended up with, well, I guess he had 223 yards and a touchdown, but he did have 2 interceptions. And then he was out for full series because his backup threw for 44 yards. Their run game is good. Jeremiah Love is good. Riley Leonard, can scramble and get touchdowns. So I think if we can maybe eliminate their run game and have him pretty strictly as a passer, I think that will be our key to victory.
Cedric, how about you, man?
I like the matchup. Honestly, I think they have a good defense, but it's not like we haven't played. For us, especially in this later in, I mean, we just got done playing Oregon.
Yeah.
Texas.
Yep.
And now Notre Dame. I would say I personally believe that both Oregon and Texas have better defenses than Notre Dame. I think what Oregon failed to do in their mission was to stop Jeremiah Smith. I think Notre Dame will take a page out of Texas's book and will be double covering Jeremiah Smith, asking us to beat them in other positions. I think that is possible for us. I like our defensive massive against them because Riley Leonard throwing 223 yards against Penn State is not what he has done this entire season. He has been predominantly a rushing quarterback. He'll get 30 to 70 rushing yards, 1 to 2 tutties a game on the ground. And so I think the 2 interceptions kind of shows that in that position, he was forced to make some throws. I like that for our secondary. I like that for us getting pressure on him to making him move the ball. I agree with Byron that I think for us to be successful on defense, we really do have to stop the run game because it's not like, Jeremiah Love is solid. Riley Leonard isn't shy of lowering his shoulder and tucking and go. Like for the receivers, they only got really one guy, Greathouse. As far as I'm like, this dude's actually like really fucking good. But I pray that Denzel Burke's on him, and I just really don't want to watch him get embarrassed on national TV because Igbenogson, they put his stats out there, so I'm going to say because I talk about these corners every now and then. I know it's tough out there, but my guy leads the league in penalties as a corner. Like when that stat hit the line, I was like, damn, I knew that, but not the whole world knew that. So I imagine that if they do throw the ball, I hope Igbenogson's ready because they will be going his way more than likely to draw some penalties to get some moving on those yards.
I agree. I just think with this game, Ohio State just doesn't have to they can't give Notre Dame more possessions or chances that they don't deserve. What I mean by that is with the fumblings or interceptions, I think if we play a clean game, we should be able to take care of Notre Dame. I will also say that Notre Dame with Marcus Freeman, they're not going to give up. Like they might be down 14-0, something like that. They're still gonna claw back. They might turn into a 14-10, and then we're like, all right, we need to put this away before something happens. So I think if we play a clean game, I think we can get him. I just don't see Riley Leonard. Now, if they just change the plan, like to Cedric's thing, if they change the plan because Denzel Burke and the corners are ass, then we're gonna have a problem because they're gonna be like, you know what, Riley, just throw it on them. They suck. like, like if they change their whole philosophy just because they're going against those corners, that would be something.
Well, hopefully our defensive line get to Riley Leonard before that happens.
Okay. So
honestly, I mean, a lot of this is going to ride on our linebackers, like not falling forward. Because I mean, I feel as though Texas has the most misdirections. Like, I mean, Sarkisian's out here trying to play fucking 3D chess on the fucking field. The amount of fucking like fake handoffs, misdirections, fake handoffs to a screen on the backside. I honestly was just like, dear God, no one get lost because like I don't think we have to worry about that with Notre Dame, that amount of stuff. So I'm looking at them to make some good plays because it's like they're going to be reading that shit.
All right. I agree. It's exciting. This is Monday night. I mean, you go from playoff. It's been interesting with these college football playoffs because we had our two games, the college games, and it went straight to NFL playoffs. And this weekend, NFL playoffs Saturday, Sunday, straight to the college championship on Monday. It's made these weeks more exciting with the football, more playoff football. So
yeah, if you're a football fan, you've been eating the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I mean, and the only person who's had double interest in the past weekend on the whole podcast is Cedric. Because his team is still in the NFL playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
God bless us. I don't know how things are gonna go, but I'm just along for the ride. I will save my anger and frustration once we get eliminated. And Saquon didn't get a fucking name in the history books for all this bullshit. So
it kills me too because Eric Disk, usually they do like the politically correct. They're like, oh no, if the next generation breaks my record, it's all cool. Blah blah blah.
Dickerson, fuck Eric Dickerson, bro. Fuck that nigga, bro. Like for real. No. Like I saw his things, like like it means something to me. 40 years. I was like, bro, you old ass nigga. Fuck you. Like
he said, no, I don't want
say, like, of course it means something to you. I get that, but what you don't gotta be out here is sit here saying like, just say no comment, nigga. You ever watch Bambi? What Thumper said? You ain't got nothing not to say. Don't say nothing at all. Just say no comment, bro.
He said, I love it. I love it.
He's like, no, I hope he don't make it. I hope they don't make it. Like, bro, stop being a punk.
And he was happy. Like, that's what cracked me up. I was just like, dang, finally someone actually showed there. Oh my gosh. Byron, what's the final score of this game going to be? OSU. Excuse me. OSU is heavily favored. Like statistically, 80% of people are putting on money line on OSU, on the spread OSU. Like everything is all OSU financially.
I like it. The last time people were getting nuts putting money on OSU, we lost. These bastards.
Yeah, but all the money is flowing OSU's way to cover. This open is almost a 10-point. I think it's down to like 6, 7.5 now, but let me just double check. But it was high when it first opened.
On ESPN, bet it says -8, so it dropped from -9.5 to -8.
And that's on ESPN.
Mm-hmm.
ESPN bet. Let me look at college football.
But final score, I think we can cover. At least I hope we can cover 10. So I'm going to say 24-14.
Oh, nice low scoring.
Yeah.
Okay. Oof. Cedric, what do you think, kid?
I was going to say 28 17.
Oh, I'm gonna give 35-20. I think there's gonna be I think there's gonna be a defensive touchdown or two in there, and then Notre Dame gets like a garbage one to get to 20, and then Ohio State becomes, the first 12 team champion after 10 years, all those years ago being the first 4 team champion.
Yeah.
Which would be wild that it's been 10 years since we won our last title, and then we're here we are potentially on the doorstep.
The crazy thing is, like, 2002 we won a title, and then 2014, so 12 years, and then potentially 10 years after that. So is our next title going to be 10 to 12 years after this one? If
I don't know. Because like that 2014, that 2002 to 14 one, it was a little bit different because we went to 3 title games, and so at least we were still going.
That's true.
Like, Urban went to that one and didn't go to one again. So, he won it, but didn't go to one again. And then Ryan went to the one in 20, and here we are. And shout out to Urban Meyer getting inducted in the College Football Hall of Fame. That's the 8th coach to get in there. But this, I mean, Ryan, man, he's gonna have a national title, and then we'll all be happy about it if it goes through. But then once we start the season again and he loses to Michigan for the 5th straight time, we'll all be pissed, and here we go again. And we'll have a whole different team.
Whole different team. Man.
But that's for the future. We're right now just trying to win this title right now.
Mm-hmm.
And shout out to Notre Dame because they're independent. They're cashing in all this money to themselves.
So much money.
They don't have to share. They don't have to share it with the conference.
They're making so much money.
Seeing that report, I was like, okay, I get why they're independent now.
Oh yeah, if you're independent and good,
I get it.
If you're seeing that, if you're a big school, you're like, why are we not independent?
Right. I'm like, last day you ever thought about going to independent?
They did in 2020 during COVID when the Big Ten, when Kevin Ward, we were about to play.
Oh yeah.
That was one of the wildest times ever, man. They said, man, we thought about it for real. Like, we wanted to play. Like, that was wild, man. Like, we want to play. Oh, that time.
That's so wild because Michigan literally dropped out, which almost caused us to miss the playoffs. Mm-hmm. We haven't beat them since.
I know, man.
Oh, what a moment in history.
Yeah, because Indiana would have went because they had Michael Penix and they put points on our asses. Woof, boy.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say sometimes you just need to take a break. Sometimes you just need to take a break. Yeah.
And that worked for them. I mean, hopefully next time we're on, it'll be our first time in L7C podcast history reviewing OSU winning a national championship.
Yeah, because our last few end of the season podcasts have not been happy. Lost to Missouri.
All right, we ain't even gonna talk about that one. That one was worse. That one was probably the worst.
Yeah.
You think that was worse than the field goal miss at midnight?
Yes. Yes. Because at least we were fucking in that game against Georgia.
That's true.
I don't know. We lost on the last play.
Ooh, I don't know. The year before the Missouri one, after the Georgia one, we weren't even in, and we had to watch. Oh, we had to watch Michigan win. Yeah, same year. You're right. Because we sat there and watched Michigan win last year. So yeah, Missouri one's the worst.
I was but I was okay because I picked Michigan to win that year. So
you did.
You did. And they went undefeated. Just think about that. They beat OSU for their 3rd streak. They sent Saban into retirement.
Mm-hmm.
And they sent Kevin DeBoer to Alabama. All 15 and 0.
Same year.
Man,
I really thought Washington was going to do better than that, man.
Well, they had a back and forth tit for tat against Texas that year, too. Texas, 2 Final Fours, man. Their last year in the Big 12, first year in the SEC, in the Final Four, couldn't get it done.
It's tough.
It is tough.
Yeah.
It's tough.
They had to represent the whole SEC on their back in their first year.
I don't know if they make it back. Now it's the Arch Manning show. It's all on Archie. See what you
Yeah.
can do, Arch.
Oh yeah, can't wait to do those predictions later on down the road this year because those teams are going to be so different.
Everyone's different. Everyone's so different.
Like I'm already thinking about putting Michigan in the playoff next year, depending on what they do.
I mean, I probably will be putting Michigan. I mean, they got Alabama's fucking running back, and they got this giant ass human of a being at quarterback. Like,
pay him all the money.
Oh yeah, we'll see. I mean, and I don't know what we're about to do. I mean, we start the year with Texas. That could be a 0-1. It's like, all right, we already got one loss. We know the magic number is 3 so far. You cannot get 3 losses.
No, no, you cannot.
yeah.
From what we've seen, once you get 3, you are officially
done.
Yeah, shout out to Alabama. How y'all doing?
Unless you win your conference championship.
That is true.
Shout out to Clemson.
Yeah, they found
That's true.
because
that's
freaking Miami wet the bed. They wet the bed against Iowa State.
That's an ACC problem. That doesn't happen in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Speaking of side note, before we go to winners and losers, did you see? But besides I don't understand how Penn State makes these all-star defensive people and really they can't win shit. That's a case study. You see all these? They have their players coming back.
Yeah.
Both
Martin,
running backs
you know why?
and Aller. I mean, they trying to do the OSU model.
Martin, they try to do every type of model, bro. They're trying to win. They said, listen, we want to run it back. Run that shit back. That shit was smooth. Let's do it again.
Let's do it. They lucked into the damn Big Ten championship because we lost to Michigan. Man.
Hey, that's not luck. We lost. Shit,
I know.
that's
true.
That's true.
And then, they did what they had to do. They beat SMU, which I thought SMU would play better. I thought Boise State would play better. And then they just couldn't get past Notre Dame.
Maybe if Drew Aller doesn't party in Miami all night long, they do better. I'm fucking with you, Drew. I don't know if you was out there drinking or whatnot, but people showing you like out on the beach. You was living your life. I understand, man. You from Ohio. It's cold as fuck. He's like, man, I'm in South Beach. That Hard Rock Cafe Stadium is nice. I understand it, man.
I'm not. In big games, your ass. So. Like,
sorry,
I see
Mark,
you
he's coming back.
That's great. That's easy money for the Buckeyes. I don't care who on the team.
Hey, man, you never know, man. He may turn into Patty Mahomes out there. He wears that 15 and has a haircut just like him, too.
Dylan Raiola's already in the Big Ten. We already got Patrick Mahomes Jr.
Sure, we got Patrick Mahomes Jr.
Yeah. He looks tries to look just like him through the cut and everything, does the intro and all. But hopefully, man, next week we're back, national champs. It'll be a good feeling. Merch will be cool. Seeing that title, Ryan Day will have a championship. Already getting ready to cuss out ESPN because I already know what they're about to say. Blah, blah. Who cares, buddy? So, we'll see. Going in, I mean, just winners and losers, guys. Who are some winners, losers of some things that have happened the past week? If you want to highlight, maybe the whole college football season as we're nearing the end. Floors are all open.
I do have one winner. I might think of, but that Oklahoma City Cavs game was heat. That was one of the best best professional basketball games I've seen this year so far.
Yep. Can't say much about that because that was my winner on the NFL podcast. They got the rematch on Thursday, tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll see. It's at Oklahoma City. We'll see if we can bounce back after that loss last week.
All right, Cedric, you got any winners?
I guess the Commanders kicker and God blessing you with that doink inside. Shout out. Way stay in there for the NFC East because two other teams just like bum ass niggas that can't. So they're having rough times, but shout out to them. I mean, way to keep it alive. I mean, that was a tough Tampa Bay team. Even though they're riddled with some injuries, they're still tough. I mean, rookie Jaden Daniels still in the playoff. Now you gotta go play Detroit.
Yeah.
I got 2 to stay in the basketball world. One, past couple games, Cooper Flag from Duke, the freshman phenom, going absolutely
been balling.
bonkers.
Mhm.
Bonkers. And I'm just like, gotta throw some respect out there to him, even though I hate Duke. And the other one, obviously, 16-0 OSU women's basketball had a tough grind out game against Oregon, where they went on a 28-0 run in the second quarter to try and pull that away, and then Oregon fought back, won by 9, I believe, and they are currently still undefeated, 16-0. They play. They got.
They're about to go on the road, right? 3 weeks, 3 games on the road.
Yeah, so they have Wisconsin on the road tomorrow, and then they're on the road against Penn State. If they win both those games, Thursday, January 23rd is massive because they've already made it a whiteout. That is in Columbus, and that is against Maryland. Right now, it'd be number 8 versus number 9.
Ooh.
So
Thursday the 23rd.
I need
yes.
us to stop getting disrespected in these rankings because there are
And
some teams that
Maryland-
have multiple losses.
All right,
Maryland
has
right
one
now-
loss.
They're 16-1. Let me tell you really about this Big Ten women's basketball, how crazy this shit really is. Because like Cedric said, USC is 16-1. UCLA is 16-0. OSU is 16-0. Maryland is 16-1.
Man, some great basketball teams in the Big Ten.
UCLA and OSU,
man,
16-game winning streaks. It's wild.
The only other conference that has more people is the SEC.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Maryland,
some of them motherfuckers got 2 losses. Like, I don't understand this shit. Like, there's teams ahead of us with 2 losses, and like, bounce them out.
Yeah, so
Texas. Notre Dame.
Bounce them out. Get them out of here.
So they get to 18-0. Well, Maryland plays Texas before they play us in the same week.
Good. I hope Maryland wins. Get Texas out of here.
So that's what I'm saying. The 23rd, man, if both teams go in there, Maryland 18-1, OSU women 18-0, that is going to be a movie that Thursday night.
Mm-hmm.
So that's already great. It's a whiteout. Like, I'm already just paying attention to the records because, I'm going to have to pull up.
Oh, for sure.
So, losers. Byron, you got any losers?
Yes.
Oh.
You got 2 losers, both from the NFL. First off, San Diego Chargers. You suck. Oh, shout out to Lat McConkey. He did win me a $68 bonus bet, so shout out to him. But the rest of your team sucks. Sorry. And then the Minnesota Vikings. You also suck. How do you let Sam Darnold get sacked 6 times in the first half, 9 times in the total game? Like, your offensive line sucks. Sam Darnold, you look like the Sam Darnold of old. You definitely lost some money on that paycheck because of those last 2 games. So yeah, Chargers and Vikings are my losers of the week.
Cedric.
Good losers. I was going to pick the Vikings too. That was good. Man, let's see. I'm gonna say Cam Moore because I wanted to say Cam Moore last week and I forgot about him. I hope your draft stock got hurt, buddy, when you leave your team fucking high and dry in the middle of the fucking game that you wanted to play just to break a record. That quarterback from UNLV, Skolsa, is it Saluska? Whatever the fuck your name is. He just signed with JMU. I'm just calling him a loser because I'm forced to play as them in our fucking College Dynasty. Check out the College Dynasty on YouTube if you haven't seen it. I am ass, but other people are good. So just because him just team hopping, you gotta catch that L. I don't like doing NBA stuff because I feel like Martin, you do a lot of NBA losers.
I will not have an NBA loser this time.
Mm-hmm. Not even your favorite team in the NBA?
No.
I mean, that's what I was going to talk about, Joel Embiid.
No, you go ahead. You go ahead.
Because I saw that thing that also shared where they're like, you're at a PTO. I laughed so hard.
Oh, that was me. Me
When
too.
you shared that, I was like, I laughed so hard. I was like, oh dear God, that's so funny. But the fact that like him and Paul George are on that team, and y'all like, and I'm going to say this. I'll lie later. I don't care. Normally, I rocks with Playoff P just to make Martin mad. But Playoff P, for real, you asked, my guy, what are y'all doing over there? Like, what the fuck? I feel so bad. Tyrese Maxey, that young rookie that have to lead the team, don't have to deal with y'all shit. I know somehow, magically, somehow, you guys will fucking make the playoffs too. And that's what's going to really piss Martin off the most. You guys are going to go in there talking shit as if you're going to win some shit in the playoffs. You're going to force Chuck to probably root for you guys to beat Boston because, most motherfuckers hate Boston. So, yeah. Hate you guys.
Well, first loser is anyone who didn't believe me almost 2 months ago about Mr. Carson Beck. I told y'all, motherfucker. I told y'all. I told you people. Once he got with that girl and those pics started flowing, it caused issues. I tried to tell y'all. Y'all didn't listen. Well, y'all didn't think I was serious. And he puts himself in the draft, realizes, them pics, those were my last game film. So where does he go? Miami, where his girlfriend is at. See, this podcast, man, y'all gotta listen. We dig out all the stuff, and it was right there. And apparently, he has. Let me read the exact. Oh, did I delete it? That's bad. I must have been pissed. Oh,
he making money though.
Oh, that's what I was gonna find.
I think
the
he gets
highest
10 million?
paid college athlete in history. All that just to probably lose 6 games because he's ass.
6?
Bro.
Damn.
Now he's gonna have easier. He's gonna have easier access to his girlfriend. He really ain't gonna go practice. Then they want to put up with this shit in Georgia, and then they making TikToks about come to the U. Okay, y'all paid that money for Carson Beck, and he said his goals is to win a national championship and win a Heisman. I don't even. You can win a Heisman. You can win a Heisman on varsity in the game.
I was gonna say he's talking about college football 25, right?
Well, he has to do it on varsity because you ain't winning a Heisman on Heisman. I'll tell you that much.
No, that is difficult.
So he's one. Since I wasn't even gonna use this one, but since Cedric brought up the L7C Dynasty League, which you should watch, another loser is, and that's I guess is actually me because my defensive line is actually really, really good this year. But the rest of my team and me are trash. So I am sorry to my defensive line who actually balls out and gets sacks and put pressure on people's quarterbacks. And the rest of the team, including myself, is just awful. I am apologizing. Just saying. And
right. That's not even a you thing. That's like everyone in this fucking thing, except for like Curious.
Well, I just played today. My defensive line gave up 1 touchdown, but I gave up too many. So and I already know they were cussing out my offense. They were probably fighting if this was real life. But and then the third one, I don't care. He's not even going to edit out. But to any of those 1,507 people, 57 people, you are ass. That's all I'm going to say. The 1,057 men who waited in line, you're terrible. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say on that. I could go Joel Embiid, take off my glasses and really start spazzing, but I'm going to leave it at that.
Yeah, you probably just leave it at that.
Yeah. Oh, man.
There's another one I want to say too, but hey, we got fans from every political spectrum, so I ain't gonna say that one either. So, but that being said, thank you for listening to L7C podcast. We are hoping we come back as Ohio State national champions, and that we could celebrate and all of that, and we could have a toast to a Midwest championship because there's no SEC teams in sight. So, with that being said, go Bucks! Let's beat Notre Dame. We'll be back next week. Take care.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the L7C podcast. Be sure to like, rate, review, and subscribe to the channel. Follow us on all social media platforms, and we'll be talking to you guys soon. Take care.